Hi everyone, today I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough around some of the amazing features we have on the 1SHIFT Logistics application. I'm going to give you a demo of the kind of end-to-end flow of what happens within the application in order to help give you better visibility into all the shipments that are running, and also help you analyze and figure out which shipments might be in jeopardy of having issues so you can react a lot quicker and in real time as well to any issues. So the first thing I want to talk about before I actually get into the application itself is just the flow. So here I'm showing 3 different steps. And so what happens within 1SHIFT is we've created a full ecosystem. And that ecosystem allows several key players to be able to interact with each other in order to get the visibility that they need. So up in step 1, we have a shipper or a 3PL who can actually create or upload a shipment from the TMS into the 1SHIFT Logistics application. They then actually choose to either assign it to themselves if they have their own trucks, or they can assign it to an external carrier. So now moving down to step 2, the external carrier then receives the request that the shipper wants to send. They have all of the data points, and I'll show this in the application a little bit later, that they need to make a decision on if they're willing to accept that shipment or not. If that external carrier does accept the shipment, they can then go ahead and assign it to one of their external drivers. That external driver can then kind of use their mobile device in order to be able to report back to all of the different people within the ecosystem how the shipment's progressing. The driver is able to capture images, report potential issues, and even if he's going to be on time or not be on time as well. So this is the high-level flow that I'm going to show for you right now. So let's jump over to the 1SHIFT Logistics application. Okay, so let me open it up here. So here I have a shipper's account. Okay, I'm actually going to go look at the managed shipment table first. So the application supports all of the standard things you'd expect from a high-end application like the one that you're seeing right now. We have the company settings. We have a notification center, which supports both in-app notifications and email notifications. We have a full support area as well, where you can actually have click-through guides, some video tutorials, as well as a support page and a support phone number that you're more than welcome to dial at any point in time. We also have the ability on the left-hand menu to kind of manage your relationship. So this is where you can kind of see the carriers that you've invited. You can see all of the drivers that are working with you, as well as all the staff members that actually have access to your 1SHIFT Logistics platform. So what I'm showing right now is the managed shipment table. As I mentioned, this is the shipper's account. So this is where the dispatch team members of the shipping company would actually live and breathe. Within here, I'm able to see all of the shipments that I've either created or imported. I'm able to filter by any particular state that I might be interested in transit, for example, running late or will be late. I'm just going to go ahead and filter by only active shipments for now. Right now, I can see 6 active shipments. And we've taken a lot of time and care into how we're actually displaying things on the interface that you're seeing. So you'll see certain icons which help the dispatch team quickly identify those shipments which are running into issues. So for example, I can see there's 3 shipments here with 1 driver reported issue. I can also see there's a shipment here that is going to be late, and I can see a shipment here that is currently running late. We also present a map view where you can see all of those active shipments in one handy place. If I actually zoom out right now, you'll see that I have several active shipments on this particular account. So the blue line represents where the truck is driven. The gray lines represent where the truck is going to drive. So I can see there's 1 shipment here which is actually already underway. I can see there's several other shipments which are going to be leaving soon. And we also support short and long haul. So up here around the Vancouver area, up here in Canada, we actually have some short haul shipments set up. So whether you're looking to kind of go directly across the continent, or if you're just looking at doing some final mile, or even just multiple drops throughout the day for any particular driver, we support all of those different use cases. Let's jump back to the table view now. And I'm actually going to find a shipment that was created just recently. So let's go show all. And let's take this particular shipment here, which is in the pending carrier assignment phase. So here are some of the data points that we capture. I won't go into too much detail around what we actually show, but it's all the standard things that, as a shipper, you'd need to communicate to a carrier as to what you're doing. We support multiple pickup and drop-offs. We support commodity tracking. You're also able to notify to the driver that you want him to return back home when he's finished the particular shipment, or if you want the driver to capture images of the commodity when he picks up or drops off, you're able to do all of that. We also present a shipment route, and so this shows the recommended route, again in that gray line. And as we scroll down, we have a shipment log, which tracks all of the events that have occurred for this particular shipment. We'll come back to the shipment log at the end once we've actually completed the shipment to actually see what it looks like. So now obviously as the shipper, I've gone ahead, I've created my shipment. The first thing I'm going to want to do is choose which carrier I'd like to assign this to. So I have a couple of options, as I already mentioned. I can either assign it to myself, which is this top company here, or I can assign it to an external carrier company. So for example, my demo carrier company here is Peak Logistics. If I had multiple carrier companies that I work with, they would all be listed here. And I'm able to invite new carriers as well that aren't within the 1SHIFT platform if I want to invite them. So now as a shipper, let's go ahead and assign it to Peak Logistics, and let's see what happens. So I'm given a notification to say that the request has been sent, and I now need to wait for the carrier to respond. So let's jump over to the carrier account and take a look at his view and see what he sees once that request has been sent. So I'm going to open up my Firefox browser, and I'm actually already logged in as Peak Logistics. So again, remind this is my carrier company. You'll see here in the top right corner, I just received a notification saying that Brookdale sent me a shipment request. So I now have a view of the carrier, of what they see. The key difference here is though, on this managed shipment table, for the shipper, I was showing all the shipments I've created. Now as a carrier, I'm actually seeing all of the shipments that have been assigned to me. So let's go ahead, look at our notifications and click on that shipment that was just assigned to me. I'm given a similar view to what the shipper had. I'm able to see all the data points I need to be able to make a decision if I should accept or decline this shipment. So I'm going to go ahead, accept the shipment. The shipper will receive a notification to let them know that I've accepted. Now as a carrier, my next job is obviously to select which driver I'd like to assign it to. I'm going to assign it to George. And when that shipment's ready to go, it's as simple as just clicking the dispatch button. Okay, so now let's jump over to the driver view. So I actually have my iPhone open just here. Our application is supported by iPhone and iOS. By iOS and Android. So any mobile devices that have either of those connectivities, then we'll actually be able to download the application. So I'm going to go ahead, open that 1SHIFT application as if I'm George the driver. So you probably noticed when I first opened the application, George received a notification from 1SHIFT saying he's been assigned a new shipment. So if I scroll down, I actually have a couple shipments here as George. I can actually expand the shipment that was just assigned to me. And as I scroll down, you'll actually see that there is all of the descriptions for that particular shipment is actually listed. I'm able to collapse that menu, and then when I'm ready to start the shipment as George, I'm going to click begin. And what I'd like you to do is actually just keep an eye on the background there. There's a status option up here, and you can see right now it's dispatched. As soon as George clicks begin shipment, that status is going to change and it's going to get updated, and you'll see that now it's changed to driver started. All this is going to happen in real time. So any notifications or any changes the driver makes to the shipment, both the shipper and the carrier will receive that notification and will receive those updates in real time. So let's scroll down. Now we actually have a driver started. And let's zoom out on the map and actually show you guys what it's going to look like. So up here near Vancouver, you can see my truck. If I was driving along the route, think of Uber, think of Skip the Dishes or DoorDash, where you actually see that delivery truck moving along the map with the blue line behind it. You'll see that the shipment log has been updated with all of the different things that have happened so far. The driver's been assigned, it was ready for dispatch, it was dispatched, and it's gone on duty. Coming back to the mobile app now as if we're the driver, I can go ahead and I can make my choices to if I want to attend a pick. So I'm going to go ahead, click that pick. I'm given an option when I'm ready to check in at that particular pickup location. So I'm going to confirm that. And it now presents me a count up to show me how long I've been loading my truck for. I'm going to just click confirm once I finish loading my truck. Again, all of these data points being sent back in real time to both the shipper and the carrier. The driver's now given a nice summary. Once he clicks on the next on the summary, he's now able to select his drop location. If there were multiple drops, they would all be shown here, but this particular driver just has one drop. So I'm going to go ahead and select that drop. Once I've selected it, once I've arrived, I can actually then click check in. But let's say somewhere along the way, the driver hits, maybe he has too much traffic or is stuck on a highway because there's an accident. At any point in his journey, you may have noticed that there was a report a problem button. He can go ahead and click that report a problem. He can choose the type of problem he's having. So let's say this is truck and weather. Some of our other options are customs, truck or driver issue, shipper receiver issue, product issue. But let's go ahead and just say a traffic issue. It will mean he's running late. And I'll add a quick note in here. So I can even notify my dispatch exactly where the traffic is. So Highway 5 traffic is really bad. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, click next. We actually even allow the driver to capture an image if he needs to as evidence of what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and take an image just outside my window here as if that's, imagine that being the lineup of traffic. And then I can go ahead and report that issue back to the shipper and the carrier dispatch all in one go. So in the background, you'll notice that they received a notification saying an issue's been raised. You'll see that the status has changed to orange. You can see that I have a total exceptions of 1, and there's a notification saying it's even running late. I can go ahead and I can open that image that the driver just took and actually see the issue that he's facing. The issue is captured on the map as well as a small red flag, and it's also captured in the shipment log, the exact time and location as to when the issue actually happened. So now let's say the driver gets back on track. He's ready to continue. So let's keep going through the application. He's now arrived at his drop. He's going to confirm that he's checked in. So now when he's finished unloading, we actually allow the driver to upload his proof of delivery. Traditionally, a lot of the time, companies are waiting for that driver to either bring back the proof of delivery in hand or email it or fax it back. It's a lot simpler now with 1SHIFT. All you have to do is have the driver click upload proof of delivery. Say this is kind of my signed proof of delivery here. I can report that back to dispatch now. I just click upload. I'm given a summary of the drop that I just completed, and then everything will be synced with the application. You'll see that the status now changes to completed in the background. The driver's given a nice, hey, you've completed your shipment, almost a congratulatory type screen. If we scroll down, the proof of delivery is instantly accessible by both the shipper and the carrier. Okay. Everything in the shipment log has now been tracked, and you'll see now there's a status of completed. I'd like to jump just to another shipment quickly, just to show you how we're kind of using some geofence technology and dive into that shipment log a little bit deeper. So let's actually find an in-transit shipment. Give me a second. Perfect. So let's open this one. So this particular shipment, I can see that there's 1 pick and 3 drops. If I scroll down now to the shipment log, let me zoom out on the map as well. You'll see that there's a couple of interesting points here around this particular pick location. So what we do at 1Shift is, let's find the route. For each pick and drop location that you actually add into the system, we automatically apply a geofence zone around it. There's a couple reasons for that. And the main reason is, if we scroll on the shipment log, is as the driver enters one of those geofence locations, we get that detected arrival. And as he leaves, we also get the detected departure. These are system generated events. So if the driver, for whatever reason, forgets to click through the application, and we don't get these detailed check-in, pick drop, started loading, finished loading, unloading, we at least have at a bare minimum the detected arrival and detected departure times. Okay. So scrolling back up as well, there's one more feature that I like to talk about within the shipment itself, and that's this tracker updates. So you can think of a tracker update as the FedEx. They give customers a tracking number for you to be able to see how your shipment's progressing. We've taken that concept and taken it one step further. So for the particular tracker, you're actually able to choose which pick and drop locations a customer might be interested in. So if you have multiple drops that each drop will be a different customer will be interested in, you just set up multiple trackers. You can choose when you want a link to be emailed or text message to the customer. It can be an automated one, for example, when the shipment starts or is en route, or you can just go ahead and click send now. What will happen is the customer will receive an email to notify them that an update's available for their shipment. And all they'll have to do is click on the link, and they'll just be presented with a nice customer view that shows the map, and it shows them an exact ETA of exactly how far away and how much time until the driver arrives to where they are. We've also built a, let me actually just jump over to my other account. We've also built a shipment builder. So we know that a lot of companies still use spreadsheets to kind of manage their day-to-day drops and shipments that need to occur. So we actually allow you just to upload a file, and I can actually do this really quick. So I'll go ahead and upload a CSV file, which is just a list of a whole bunch of different drops. I think I have about 20 drops. So now imagine I've uploaded each one of those drops. I can assign any of these drops to a particular warehouse. So I'll say these first three are going to be completed by my Chilliwack warehouse. I'll go ahead and I'll assign all of the other drops to another warehouse. So let's say we're going to assign it to Coquitlam. Okay, so I now have a bunch of drops assigned to Chilliwack, a bunch of drops assigned to Coquitlam. I'm going to click next. And what's going to happen is an algorithm is going to run that's going to say what's the least number of trucks and the best possible route that can be taken in order to complete all of those drops for the day. So now I'm given 3 shipments for this particular day. My Chilliwack location has 3 drops in the best possible order. My Coquitlam location will need 2 trucks. One will be completely full and the other one will be about half full. Again, all the drops put in the optimized route format too. Additionally, we also support, instead of using mobile devices to track shipments, we can also use sensors to track shipments. So I'm just going to log into a different account in order to kind of show you what those sensors look like and how we're using them. So if I go ahead and I click on my sensors piece here, let me find these little bit of data here that we can show you. So here I actually have 3 sensors assigned to this particular account. Oops. Let me just do this again. So as I mentioned, sorry, I have 3 sensors assigned to this particular account. Each sensor, you're able to customize the threshold yourself. So you can choose what the min and max temperature should be, the min and max humidity should be. We also support other data points, things like tilt, altitude, barometric pressure, light, all things like that. But for this particular account, we're just showing temperature and humidity. A graph's obviously shown to show when it was in range versus when it was out of range. You can click on view details for any one of these sensors. And once you do that, you'll actually see on a map where the sensor was. This particular sensor just kind of hops between my offices here. So red represents that they're out of range, gray would represent they're in range. So I can see here there's a couple of out of range pings that have happened for this particular sensor. Okay. Finally, we also have a nice dashboard. So if I look at the dashboard, we can actually show data to help you make management level decisions and find potential improvements in your business. And let me explain how. So we show up here the total number of loads that you've delivered each day, and you can choose which time period you'd like to show it in, whether it's last week, the last month, your last quarter, or even if it's a custom date range. But we show you the loads delivered on time versus the total number of loads. We show the number of loads delivered with different types of issues or exceptions. So for example, here I can see 30% of my shipments were delivered with issues. I can even drill down to see, okay, what percentage of my shipments were delivered with traffic and weather issues? So you'll remember I actually just did one just recently where we had a traffic issue. So this allows me to kind of identify what my largest issue is with my shipments. So if it's, for example, truck or driver issues, maybe I need to maintain my trucks better so there's less breakdown. Or if there's customs issues, maybe I need to be more cautious and better at creating the custom documentation that I need. We also have show driver app compliance. So what percentage of the drivers are using the app correctly? We can also show the driver late if he's late than more than X number of hours. We can also see how many times a shipment was waiting at a pick or a drop facility for more than a certain number of hours. Okay. So that's about it for the demonstration. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to give individual demos as well. Or even, you can sign up for a free trial and use the application yourself. But like I said, feel free to reach out to us via email and we'll get back to you. Thanks a lot.